Counsel LUKWAGO, please let prosecution address court and then you hear from court. It is well, but let the prosecution address court. Can we have order in court? Can we have order in court? Can we have order in court? Can we have order in court?
Today, lawyers who are representing Dr. Kizza Besigye in court moved out in protest, saying that their client is not getting justice, that they are accusing Kizza Besigye on a case that has not been put before the court. Okay, there is a lot of work that is being done so that Kizza Besigye can get bail. And the councils led by Erias LUKWAGO are doing everything so that Kizza Besigye can be let out. Kizza Besigye has suffered a lot under this regime. He doesn't deserve that treat. The man can die in jail. So, today, the lawyers led by Erias LUKWAGO moved out in protest. I don't know if these judges don't see what is happening. I don't know if they live outside Uganda to make such rulings that a person should not get bail. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about the act of Kizza Besigye and other lawyers protesting by moving out of courts, what it means for our country, and most importantly, the sedimentaries we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to know if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, moving out in court as a protest is also a form of representing your client. Kizza Besigye is one of the strongest opposition leader. At least Kizza Besigye has put up a brick on fighting this dictatorship. I'm starting to feel bad that Kizza Besigye may die before seeing change, and I pray at least he dies after Genome 7 is gone, or after the Genome 7 presidency is gone, because the man has suffered. Among opposition leaders, no one has carried a burden like Dr. Kizza Besigye. Even amid his differences, I don't want people to abuse him. So today in court, his lawyers moved out in protest after the judge failed to give him bail. In fact, here's a tape when this was happening. This is a clip which is almost 3 minutes. Please pay attention before I proceed. Here's a tape.
When I heard you say that the matter can continue without her, I did not know that it had come to that. And I had to alert you about our decision. So if prosecution wants to continue without us being represented, there's nothing we can do.
Your Worship, it's not factually correct that indeed this matter has been encompassed in the audience of Your Worship. Why, Your Worship, we clearly indicated to court that we had instructions to proceed with an application for mandatory bail. We have no instructions to proceed with a matter which is not known to us. We can only get instructions after we have known what the matter is all about. Up to now, the state is holding on to the letter that was written in the court. We don't know what is contained in the letter. We have no idea as to why the state moved the court. The last time we appeared here on Wednesday, Your Worship, the matter was was adjourned to Thursday, 29. So why we are here, we don't know. And that's the reason we raised and said, Your Worship, can we be permitted to proceed with a matter where we have instructions? That is the application for mandatory bail. If court is not ready to entertain that application for mandatory bail, we have no instructions to proceed with a matter which is going to be raised by the state for even said which is not known to us. And on that note, Your Worship, with all due respect, if you could permit us to withdraw from the bar and we proceed with the client. We proceed with an accused person in our business.
Before you withdraw, before you withdraw, I noted in my ruling that Counsel Martha, as lead counsel, even if she's not here, if the other lawyers are here, they can ably represent one. And I noted that it is prudent that we hear why we are here, why we hear from the prosecution in regard to the production warrant. I think it is only prudent that you hear what he has to say first before you withdraw.
Mr. Blank, Your Worship, we do appreciate all that, Your Worship. But, Your Worship, we have made reference to the provisions of Section 76 of the MCA that once an accused person has brought 6 months on remand, no any other business shall be entertained by the court apart from the application for mandatory bail. Firstly, that is Section 76, Your Worship.
Let me just to cut you short. And I'm simply stating that before you go into all that, can court hear what the prosecution has to say today? Can we have order in court? Let the prosecution address court. Counsel LUKWAGO, please, let prosecution address court and then you hear from court. It is well, but let the prosecution address court. Can we have order in court? Can we have order in court? Can we have order in court? Can we have order in court?
That is Erias LUKWAGO and other lawyers moving out of court in protest so that Kizza Besigye can get bail. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with our judiciary. First of all, our judiciary takes long without giving out rulings on key issues. Okay, there are some cases which drag in court for years, yet they can have a landmark ruling in our constitution. For example, the case where the Supreme Court came out ruled that court march is unconstitutional had dragged in court almost 7 years. People were being tried. And I also feel bad that the lawyers who are going to in the court so that this new court martial bill can be thrown out, that case can take in court even 10 years. So we don't expect much in that. In other courts, we could get a ruling in months so that this bill can be thrown out. Because anyone who even didn't stand law, if you follow the Constitution, no sane judge can come out and uphold the UPDF Amendment Act. They will throw it out. But remember, they will throw it out late after it has tried civilians. Okay? So for me, we have a judiciary that's supposed to be overhauled. In fact, if you get change, the Judicial Service Commission is the one to appoint judges. They just give the names to General Kakutam 7 to at least to choose. No General 7 to pick his own judges. Okay? That's what's supposed to be. Kizza Besigye should be out of jail. Some judges must understand law and logic and empathy. But also some judges must learn judicial activism. Judicial activism does not necessarily mean that you are going to rule against the Constitution. Judicial activism means that you rule in favor of the constitutionalism building so that we can have a strong constitution. Every country at least has a judicial system that's at certain point helped the building of the constitutionalism. We have a history where Chief Justice has ever been killed, Janan Luwum. No, Ben Chiwanuka. Okay? It was because he tried to stand for rule of law. Amin killed him. Amin thought that after helping Ben Chiwanuka out of prison, he would make rulings in favor of him. He stood firm. The judiciary has a background of blood on it for it to stand, yet it is putting it down. Shame on the judiciary. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
Mpala nawala kusaba kibuze mpala na bulungi abampala no bulungi nange benjagala obulungi